As the wintry months reluctantly relinquish their grip on Seattle, the promise of spring brings with it a wild and untamed beast, real estate. So as we all emerge from a wet and chilly winter and find ourselves at the bottom of a slump, notice I'm not using the word crash here, it's good to look at the past couple years of Seattle real estate. The market is complex, just as houses themselves are. They're subject to economic influences like interest rates, inflation, consumer confidence. Generally, I like to tell people that the best time to buy real estate was yesterday. Now, yes, it's a trite saying for sure, but I've been in this industry long enough to see seasoned pros build long-term wealth through boring, slow and steady investments. That being said, there was quite a bit of drop in values over the past couple months, so it's good to arm ourselves with plenty of knowledge in order to try and weather all of these market conditions. This history of Seattle's real estate over the past 3 years is obviously going to be a little bit oversimplified, but here goes. In 2019, before the pandemic, the tech industry was booming, the viaduct was getting dismantled down here, and the city was building a park. Well-paid workers were moving to town, and everyone was enjoying pretty historically low interest rates of like 4.5%. But the pandemic caused a screeching halt to all of that. I don't know if you remember, but the entire city shut down. It was empty downtown. Nobody could go to work. I was waiting on scheduling an inspection, but just couldn't get it to happen. So in my industry, the Realtor Association lobbied the government to get real estate labeled as an essential service, and then I could get that inspection going and get back to work. The Northwest Multiple Listing Service even created this new form from scratch that said how we were going to count time in contracts if there was some sort of act of God. Do you know that today, March 21st, is Ivor's birthday? Yes, that famous Ivor. That's the reason that we're down here at the waterfront today, is to enjoy his 118th birthday. And I think that there's a deal, like a buy one, get one or something. So we're just gonna get some fish and chips.
Yeah, that first couple weeks of the pandemic was crazy. I was working for a university here in Seattle, and we were all trying to figure out how to go work from home, and part of my job was processing checks, so it's like you can't really take, donor checks home. So it was just nuts. Don't even try to find a desk this first few weeks of the pandemic. It was like, or wood to build a desk. So, working from the dining room table, scouring the side of the road for like throwaway desks that people didn't want anymore, which didn't exist because they were snatched up within a second. Desks were like the hottest commodity after toilet paper.
So things eventually got moving again, but very slowly. And the Federal Reserve, they cut interest rates in order to stimulate more spending, thus the dramatically low interest rates. I had a lot of clients in like the 2.5%. A lot of people jumped on board, started refinancing their homes. I even had a client who got a sub 2% VA loan. It was pretty crazy for a while. With government sending out stimulus checks, people started sprucing up their homes, and they really settled into those low interest rates. People don't want to sell when their monthly payment's so low. And that's why inventory got really low for a while there. And there was still a massive demand. So what do you get when supply doesn't meet demand?
Home prices pretty much catapult.
Fast forward like 2 years to the summer of 2022, there's been a ton of competitive buying and selling of real estate. Inflation has gone completely awry. The average home price is like $1.2 million and a dozen eggs are $6. So the Fed has to step in and do something, right? This all leads to a hike in interest rates. Buyer demand goes down. The tech layoffs of 2023 further exacerbate the issue because, people are scared about their jobs. They don't want these higher monthly payments. And we're seeing now like a decrease of 20% in home prices across the Seattle area. So I'm curious, did you guys buy a pandemic era home? We bought a house in 2021 in pretty fierce competition, and I don't regret it at all. But I have talked to a couple people who are, justifiably frustrated now that values have dropped quite a bit over the past year. So leave a note down below with some of your thoughts if you have some perspective now. Currently, the 30-year mortgage rate stands at about 6.5%, and inventory is still really scarce because homeowners are still relishing their 2% mortgages. However, listings in Seattle are gradually increasing month by month, and we're going to see even more inventory in April as spring gets into full swing. And though we may see people stay in their homes longer than in the past since they have these awesome low interest rates, don't worry. People have to move for job changes, growing families, divorce, death, retirement, and everything in between. Eventually, homeowners with 2% rates will sell, and as that happens, the market's going to normalize. While demand still surpasses supply, homes are cheaper upfront now than they were a year ago. February 2022 saw the average home price of a single-family home in Seattle at $1,035,000, and now a year later it's at $850,000. So that kind of sucks if you own your home. Because you've lost a lot of value, and it doesn't really help you if you're looking to buy, because with lower prices and higher interest rates, your monthly payment's going to probably be about the same. But friends, don't lose hope, because real estate is a consistent long game. And, historically it's been a pretty good investment. But we can speculate all day long, and then, a bank collapses out of nowhere and things change on a dime. But experts are predicting that the Fed might lower interest rates in order to alleviate fear and to stimulate spending again. So I wouldn't worry too much, but I guess all of that remains to be seen. I'm in Innis Arden right now, really like all of the mid-century modern houses around here, and this one has a particularly nice view.
This is stunning. The Puget Sound and the Cascades Olympics.
Kendall can never remember which mountains we're looking at.
Don't put that in.
The kitchen here leaves a little bit to desired. I would want to redo that a little bit, but this great room is beautiful, and this stone wall, I'm a very big fan of that. And then, just look at the deck and the view there. It's very pretty here. As a real estate agent in Seattle, I've witnessed the forces of the market, and the pandemic incited a surge of demand from out-of-state buyers seeking to escape wildfires, heat, suburban sprawl, income tax, and move up to the promised land that is the Pacific Northwest. And this, coupled with really historically low interest rates, created a highly competitive market with bidding wars and homes selling for way over asking price. I think one of my craziest transactions was in 2022 when I helped somebody buy a cool mid-century modern house that was listed for $850,000, and we got it for $1.235, or 45% over list price. And that wasn't unique. It was happening all over the place. I even saw a few places sell in Kirkland and Bellevue for something like double their asking price. Now, part of this was real estate agents purposefully underpricing as a strategy to drive up a final price a little bit, but it was still quite a frenzy. If you're looking to make a home in Seattle, just send me a message. I run a small real estate team in the Seattle area, and if you're looking for a referral closer to you, I'm connected to a lot of really great realtors around the country. Seriously, just send me an email or sign up for an appointment down below, and I'm happy to chat. So we're experimenting with doing a Home in Seattle podcast. Emily and Kendall are going to be hosting. The goal is to eventually maybe take this on the road and visit some investors, some business owners, some clients, and check out what they're working on. I have a little GoPro here, the camera. I'm going to be manning this on the tripod, and then it's just like a little set that we have here. These aren't on yet, but check it out. It should be live whenever we finish it. As I reflect on the evolution of the Seattle real estate market, I'm reminded of the importance of staying knowledgeable and guided by expertise in the face of change. Economic conditions and TikTok trends are drastically changing the world that we live in. And I try to stay updated on all of this in order to serve my clients the best that I can. That being said, the core principles of real estate remain the same. It's all about finding the right fit for each person and smartly marketing homes. Whether you're buying or selling, there's no one-size-fits-all solution, and it's important to explore thoughtfully and critically all of your options. That's it for now. Send a message and say hi, or just stay tuned for more design and housing content from my home in Seattle. Bye!